You're watching CoastLife, and as I'm sure you're aware by now, you know we love a good meal. And one of the community members responsible for inspiring a lot of good meals in the area is Chef Joe with Delaware Technical Community College. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us in your kitchen here. So you are in charge of the culinary program that a lot of students work their way through and then into the culinary world.
Yes, yes. So we've been at this for a couple of years now. I think since here in Dover since 2006. So we graduate an average of 12 to 15 students a year.
Nice. And you know, you're the one leading them through this, which means you've got the culinary skills yourself.
Yes.
So you're going to be making the dish or you're letting me help you make a dish today.
Correct.
What are we making here?
So we are going to make a classic shrimp mousse crab cake. I know because we are from the Delaware region.
Yes.
It's classic to have a crab cake, but everyone does a crab cake a little bit different, and everyone has their opinion. But this is a recipe I learned when I was at the Hotel DuPont, and I believe it came back from Le Baffin and George Perrier many years ago. I'm sure it's not exactly the same, but it's as close as we can get it.
Yeah.
So it's basically a shrimp mousse, and we're going to fold in some lump crab meat, and we're going to saute it, and we're going to finish it with a little bit of whole grain mustard sauce to complete it.
It's already watering. All right, so
Excellent.
where do we start?
Okay, so we're going to start by, we're going to add the shrimp into the Roboku, and then we're going to process that. Then we're going to add the seasoning, and we're going to process that. The idea is you're going to make a mousse, so you want to make it smooth and silky.
Got it.
That's the idea behind it.
All right.
So process it. There's the puree, the process. So this is the kitchen. This is where all of their labs are taken care of.
Yeah.
So they start, then it takes about 2 years to do the program, and they spend the entire 2 years working out of this kitchen. There's 6 major labs, 15 weeks long. But they're very green and inexperienced, but by the time they leave, they all have jobs. They're all experienced working somewhere.
That's awesome. All right, so we've got our shrimp pureed.
Correct. So we're going to add the egg to it. Just drop the 1 egg.
1 egg.
Okay, the 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire in the back.
That's this guy. All right. Worcestershire, stir. Said it right.
You did. You didn't say it wrong, that's for sure.
Okay.
The Tabasco.
Tabasco. Ooh.
And then the Dijon. And go ahead, we can add the cream.
Okay. I don't know why I like to go around the circle like that.
Perfect. Well, that's exactly what we would all do.
Makes me feel official.
Okay, we'll drop the lid back on, and then we will process until smooth.
Yeah.
So the idea is to puree, process everything together without breaking it, without separating the cream from the other product.
That makes sense.
The egg is the binder and the mustard is the binder. So you have 2 things heavily binding. So you don't have very good odds of breaking it. But if you notice, the 2 things that I did, this came out of the refrigerator ice cold. My shrimp is ice cold, and my cream is ice cold. So then we're going to take this and we're going to fold this. And the things that we teach here is focusing on fresh ingredients. And anytime you're working with fresh ingredients, it takes a little bit more time. It's when you're making a fresh basil pesto, you're either growing the pesto, or you're growing the basil, and then you're making the pesto. Versus in industry, sometimes they buy it to make shortcuts. But when you're making it fresh, you know exactly what's going in. So you have somebody come in with an allergy or an intolerance.
True.
It's very easy to say, hey, I can tell you
exactly
this has this, and it. You don't go back and have to search the ingredient list on the bottle of pesto that you bought.
That makes sense.
So, and then we're going to add some of these scallions.
All right.
Good fold.
Oh, they smell amazing. That's the other difference too, I think, with fresh ingredients, where like sometimes store-bought or things have been sitting around a while, you don't smell it just.
No, you don't.
Just by cutting it.
That's fresh, yes, and that's why you kind of hold up, and I like to do things as last minute as possible sometimes.
That makes sense.
Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and throw this in the refrigerator for about an hour to let it set. And then we're going to get a saute pan. We're going to saute till brown on both sides, shoot it in the oven until it comes to 155 degrees.
Nice, so we'll let TV Magic handle some of that, but don't go anywhere because we're gonna put together more of this crab cake when we get back. Before the break, we were in the process of making a mouth-watering crab cake. We put it in the fridge for our hour, and we're ready to fry, right?
Correct.
All right, so where do we start?
All right, so we have the shrimp mousse crab cake here, and then we're going to add a little bit of olive oil to the pan, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. What we're going to do is I use a ring mold. You don't have to use a ring mold.
Smart.
So it goes into a nice little ring mold, and then I have a nice blue scoop that fits perfectly into it.
Yeah. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, there we go.
So that's that little sizzle we're looking for. So I'm not looking for a lot of color. I want it to be a little bit brown.
That's right, because this has another step too.
It does have another step. So I just lift the metal thing and try to get under there with my, so then I'm going to turn around and flip that. Make sure if I don't get under there and it doesn't flip, then it's off or not. The reason I use the ring mold also is because it keeps the height. Sometimes if you don't use the ring mold, as it gets warm, it kind of starts to flatten. And I like the plate appearance to be a little bit higher with this as well. But we're going to spend another 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and then we're going to go on to a nice sizzle pan, a little bit of oil on it. And then we're going to shoot that right in the oven for about 12 minutes.
So this is a mustard sauce, right?
This is a whole grain mustard sauce, correct.
So where do we start?
So leaving off from the pan we used to saute the shrimp. That's why the shrimp is in the oven without the pan.
Yeah.
We're going to add some shallots to it, some finely diced shallots.
My favorite sound.
All right, there's the sizzle. Sizzle we're all looking for. So you don't want, we're not looking for any color here. We're just looking for a little, a little start to soften it up, and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of white wine, and then 2 tablespoons of sherry vinegar.
I'm serious, I wish you could smell it through the camera because every ingredient that we've used so far smells so amazing.
My favorite thing about teaching the students is watching them really get that aha movement of connection. And sometimes that doesn't happen right away. Sometimes the students they're in a path where they don't really know exactly what they want to do. But if I can connect them with a chef in the outside world that can really help develop their skills. And every student is a little bit different. Some students need, that hands-on,
a little more hand-holding.
Yes, and then some students need to be let go.
Yeah,
they need to be, and they want that. I'm ready. They think they're ready to be executive chefs coming out, which is the world that we live in today.
Sure.
Right? As this is starting to boil, we're going to get and add the cream.
Perfect. Delish.
Swirl it around a little bit.
Basically, all my favorite ingredients are going into this dish so far. So we've got a few more things. We're ready to plate pretty much here. So what do we got to do?
So, all right, we're ready to plate. So I made a little a roasted corn salad. So I just took the little garlic oil and salt and pepper and a little paprika and chili powder, and I roasted the corn with that, and then it came out of the oven. I took it off the cob, mixed it up with some roasted peppers and a little bit of leek and some parsley, just to make a nice quick little sweet corn to go with that sweet crab. So we're going to go ahead and plate up. We can go ahead and grab the crab cake out of it. Here's the
towel.
That's quite important.
That is important. Yep.
Ooh, it looks good. Do I set it right there? Okay, so we're going to start with, I have a little mixed greens for the base.
Cute.
So typically, we are starting with the process of not going in the center of the plate, so we try to do 2/3 of the plate with the food. It's something that the process that seems like the energy is going there with the industry.
Gotcha.
So we're going to take this roasted corn salsa and kind of drop it right there. I like to add quite a bit.
Yeah.
just because it's.
I love, we talked about too, the sort of the visual aspect of plating, but not only are all these ingredients delicious, but they're very visual too.
They're very, correct. They have to be, the idea is that you're pleasing your palate.
Yeah.
And when you're plating, well, you like to see a contrast of colors. You also like to see a contrast of textures. You notice when I add a fried leek to it at the end, it's that crispness that we're kind of looking for.
Yeah. What's next?
So we're going to turn around and just put a little of these
Alrighty.
right in here.
1 and 2. A little off kilter action. Good,
Yeah, just
good.
a little bit. And then we're going to do is add a little leek to that.
Oh,
Fried leek for texture and height.
beautiful.
All right. And then we're going to add, I have a little basil oil I made. So it's just,
Look at that
I add
color,
a
man.
bright color.
It's beautiful.
So I like to go on the edge because I'm still going to put the hot sauce right in the middle.
Okay.
So we're going to go on the outside edge.
So you make it look so easy. I feel like if I did that, I'd look like a kindergartner.
And then we're going to plop this. And then right before it goes out to the customers, then we hit the hot sauce. And then we're going to take
Beautiful.
this.
I'm just so caught up. Nice. Beautiful. So not only does it looks amazing, it smells amazing. Can I taste amazing?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. Oh my God. I mean, when you're talking about fresh seafood, all of the flavors from the sauce all play really well together. This oil is amazing. I'm gonna try it with some of the corn too. Oh my gosh. This is so good. I'm having the best day. That is
Thank you
fantastic,
very much.
sir. Thank you. Thank you. So keep in mind, if you do have a kid who's really interested in culinary arts or they're really kind of taking to cooking, this is a great program for them to explore.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's more amazing meals and amazing things to explore coming your way with more CoastLife, so don't go